There's a lot to qualify Lookout Mountain as a famous place. Notable battles of both the Revolutionary War and Civil War occurred there. But in recent times, it's better known to travelers and vacationers as the home of Ruby Falls and Rock City. Lookout Mountain straddles 3 states, Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama. But its most popular attractions are considered part of the Chattanooga area along the Tennessee River. The joy of sightseeing here is heightened by riding the Lookout Mountain Incline Railway. It's been carrying passengers up and down the famous mountain for more than a century. But the most famous attractions of this famous place are atop the mountain, as in Rock City, and deep inside the mountain, through the caverns that lead to the beautiful Ruby Falls. People associate their first hearing the names Rock City and Ruby Falls from Depression-era advertising. In those days, state highways led travelers to what were considered roadside attractions.
Yeah, back in the 40s is when the heavy advertising with Rock City and Ruby Falls started, with the See Rock City and See Ruby Falls throughout all the 2-lane roads and the U.S. highways that came here. The new interstates have kind of redirected some of that traffic. So Lookout Mountain has become a destination more than it was roadside attractions. So people come to Lookout Mountain now and stay a day or 2 days going to the many attractions that we have here.
The invitation to see Rock City oftentimes came on the side of a barn in a memorable advertising campaign that put the attraction on the map.
The idea of the barn campaign was really innovative and again is kind of that legacy of entrepreneurship that we're really blessed to have and to have run through our history. At one point there were 900 barns in the U.S. painted, south from Florida, north to Michigan, the Carolinas east, and west to Texas.
What is now Rock City was purchased by Garnet and Frida Carter in the 1920s. Garnet originally envisioned a neighborhood atop Lookout Mountain to be known as Fairyland. Because of construction delays, he created a miniature golf course there, a concept that quickly spread. But it was Frida's vision of paths and gardens throughout the unusual rock formations that had the staying power.
We've been really blessed to have that legacy of vision that started with our founders. You know, there's historic writings that show even Native Americans as well as Civil War soldiers who kind of saw those lanes, if you will, those places to walk between the rocks. But I think our founder, Frida Carter especially, really could see that vision and could see it come to life with the plantings and the flowers, everything that she supplemented the paths with.
The rock formations, of course, date back millions of years. Even by the time of the Civil War, those who had seen the geologic marvels had begun to call it the Rock City. Lover's Leap is the most iconic of the formations, and it's impressive, regardless of whether it's seen from atop Lookout Mountain or from below. It is rock, albeit limestone rock, that formed Cavern Castle, the entrance to Ruby Falls. It's a replica of a 15th century Irish castle. Once inside, an elevator takes visitors down the first 260 feet to a staging point for guided tours through the caverns leading to the falls. There are plenty of graphically named rock formations in the cave, such as Elephant's Foot. Off the path, water fills Mirror Pool. Just one of the highlights of these intriguing and unusually shaped presentations of nature. Other formations are enhanced by lighting and give off a colorful glow. Surrounded by the honeycombed look of this world below ground. The narrow and windy path leads to a single destination, known as Solomon's Temple. It is the place of Ruby Falls. This is the largest and deepest waterfall in the nation that's open to the public. It is 1,120 feet beneath the surface. Visitors get to see the falls against different colored lights. The falls are 145 feet tall, 100 feet long, and 20 feet wide. One reason for the popularity of Ruby Falls is its appeal to people of all ages.
The great thing about Ruby Falls is it's a generational attraction, and we see grandparents and actually great-grandparents that bring children back here and talk about being here back in the 50s and the 40s because it is a natural attraction. The cave and the falls itself do not change. Now the way we present it with lighting or Wi-Fi or however we may do with that to keep it relevant to today's visitor, it does change, but the actual falls itself does not.
The views atop Lookout Mountain are spectacular. Rock City, by the way, is actually located in Georgia, even though it's only a few miles across the border from Ruby Falls, which is located in Tennessee. Rock City brags that you can see 7 states from there. The others include North and South Carolina, Kentucky, Virginia, and Alabama. Rock City also attributes its continuing success with its ability to adapt with the times.
You know, a big piece of that success is we take this gorgeous place and then we think about how to connect that with the visitor of today. And so we're constantly trying to update, trying to attract families. We have a very robust event calendar now that includes music and entertainment. And so I think that's been something that we've done through the years, has been really changed to try to reach out to whatever the family travelers are looking for at that point.
And Rock City will always be remembered for its barn signs.
When Mr. Carter came up with that idea and he hired his barn painter, Mr. Byers, Clark Byers, he would knock on a farmer's door and say, "I'll be happy to paint your barn for free." And then he would climb up there and freehand the message based on the size of the barn, the pitch of the roof, what other messages he had written in close proximity. And so there's really some cool messages that are still maintained on some barns. That number's less than 200 now, but it definitely was a great way to tell people to come see Rock City.
While the Chattanooga area has plenty of other attractions, Ruby Falls and Rock City, which started so many years ago, continue to draw hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. And it goes without saying that both are famous places.